PlayStation 3 is finally shutting down its servers thanks to Sony, and none of doing with any of the Helldiver issue that's going on. But let's take a dive and see what's still active and how many people are going to be affected by it. There was an article that caught my eye done by Tech for Gamers, and it was posted on my Discord, and a friend shared it to me. But about 2 million people that still play on the PlayStation 3 are going to be affected by it shutting down. So I want to take a dive into this article and share a bunch of other stuff that I did some little bit of digging, and I think you'll be surprised as much as I am. So here's the article from Tech for Gamers talking about the PS3 servers being shut down this year. It's been around, like, people have been talking about it since 2021 that, Sony wanted to cut it off, but they've been pushing it off, and they finally made the decision to cut off all support and online support for the PlayStation 3. So why does this matter? Last year's PlayStation leaks confirmed that a user base of 2 million people still use this system today. So by moving on, Sony is effectively abandoning 2 million gamers, which is huge. All this info comes from the PS blog, which reports that one final update for the console is coming this year, which is probably going to end up cutting off all the online servers and basically outing all the services that's still available. The big thing is you will not be able to do any online gameplay, which we will cover what games are still played, and the PlayStation Store. So that means no Netflix, no Hulu, anything like that. You may be able to still use it. No one knows just of yet, but at the moment, we think that won't be supported. And I'm pretty sure Netflix and Hulu stopped supporting the PS3 database and all that stuff they already do. But yeah, the big thing is the PS3 is the last of the free internet that was offered by Sony. And as everyone knows, going on to the PS4, it was officially thrown out the window. So, like I said before, the PlayStation 3 still has 1.9 million active users in it. And given the fact that it was released 17 years ago. It was released 17 years ago, sold about 8.7 or 87 million units. And it's kind of just surprising considering the typical lifespan for a console is like 6 to 7 years, as it said. But last year there was a leaked document showing that there were that many players playing, and a lot of them are multiplayer titles like Call of Duty, GTA 4, stuff you would see, active like hackers in from here and there in the different lobbies. But there are also some exclusives that will be unplayable, such as Metal Gear Solid 4, God of War Ascension, and stuff like that has been remastered since the PS3. And they haven't brought anything over like ports to PS4, etc., etc. So people, that's going to be left behind. Any support for that, that people still might need. Also, fun fact: apparently the PS5 sells like 4 million consoles a month or something like that. Someone did the math. Thought that was very interesting. But I really want to take a dive into what this Reddit user posted. These are what games are still being played actively on the PS3. And this was updated 2 months ago. So you have GTA 4, Blur, but only using DNS settings, Red Dead Redemption, Destiny. I don't know who's still playing OG Destiny on the PS3, but people still do. Wipeout, Bioshock 2, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, and Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, Transformers, any Call of Duty that's still on the PS3. So there's probably people out there playing World of War and stuff like that still, which fantastic. Honestly, probably one of my favorite Call of Duties of all time. Dragon's Crown, Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Manhattan, Call Darius, The Cartel, Rage, fantastic game as well, by the way. If you haven't played any of the Rage series, highly recommend. Minecraft on the PS3, I didn't realize people, anyway, Minecraft apparently still being played. Dark Souls 2, get that. Plants vs. Zombies, very surprised. But yeah, my big thing is I'm surprised GTA 4, given that GTA 5 has been redone into the ground nonstop. The big thing that I also want to tackle here is that there is a group out there called PS1 that's bringing back a lot of things, trying to keep the servers alive. Now, PS1 is a big group that focuses on Wipeout. They're working on bringing PlayStation Home back, which I personally had fun because there was a lot of like little games on there that I was kind of addicted to when I was younger. Very fun. You get to build your own house. You get to socialize, do a bunch of different things. It was very interesting. Really enjoyed it. Twisted Metal Black Online. You have Warhawk, SOCOM Confrontation. And I know for a fact that SOCOM, that one definitely works. One of my old coworkers borrowed my PlayStation 3 to do said thing, and it was a good time for him. Now, the other big thing that they're doing is they're not giving any people a chance to basically get their money back or keep their downloaded support going. So if there's a game that, if you have an issue, they'll let you re-download it and stuff like that. Microsoft is one that's following up and, you know, still giving back to the players and giving back to the people who bought into it. Now, unfortunately, the PlayStation's not doing that. And at the time of recording of May 6th, Sony is in hot water with Helldivers at the moment because of all the stuff they're doing, so people really aren't happy with Sony. This just adds onto the fuel to the fire. Now, what can you use the PS3 for? Still, you can use it for games, and I'm going to give you a couple games that I would recommend you play. One of the big ones I recommend is Brutal Legend. It's the Jack Black game, and if you don't know what that is, it's basically you follow Eddie Riggs, and he is the ultimate roadie. So you follow him through this basically isekai journey, which is funny because he dies on stage and summons this big demon, but he ends up going to this world of rock and roll where he uses rock and roll and heavy metal to save this world and liberate it from these demons and people that are like basically enslaving people. And it's a very good, funny story. You have Ozzy Osbourne in there. You have a very good soundtrack of all these great heavy metal hits and classics. The voice acting is fantastic. It's very underrated, and I really had a good time with it. They experimented with a lot of cool things at the time. Paul Jarius is another good one. You can still play LAN parties with Call of Duty, which is fantastic. As you saw here, MotorStorm's a good one to play. You can still do, you know, play the campaign missions and stuff like that. You can play Persona 5 on there. That's cool. You know, ever thought about that? There's still plenty of good games that you can play on the PS3 that you don't need online. Now, what games will we be losing since the PlayStation Store is going to be closed and they're only PlayStation Store exclusive? I don't know. The only one that's ever been talked about recently is the Xbox 360 with their online store. I'm very curious on what we're going to lose. I'm going to be diving in and taking a look to see if I can find any information on that. If you know anything, please comment down below. I'm really curious if there's going to be games that are going to shoot up in price because having the chance to download it still kind of kept the game cheap. Kind of like Spec Ops The Line for Xbox 360. It was like a $10 physical game because you could still download it. Now that it's going off and you can't get it anywhere but physical and had a low print, it's shooting up in price every single day. Last time I checked, it was like $20, $30. So I'm really curious if the PlayStation Store is going to affect any physical media. So let me know what you guys think down below. This is just a cool little, well, not really cool. It's kind of sucky, but as time goes on, this is something that we have to deal with. And this is the first generation we are really dealing with leaving behind, that we're losing all this support. And I know for a fact that for me, PlayStation 3 was a big changer in my life. I played Borderlands, well, the OG Borderlands, by the way, another good title. That, Borderlands 2, I played hundreds of hours onto that on the PlayStation 3. I played SOCOM, Call of Duty, all these fantastic games I played on the PlayStation 3, and I made a lot of memories. So it's kind of something that's near and dear to my heart. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know some of your memories on the PlayStation 3. I would love to hear some of your stories. And I just want to say by ending this, I have a Discord. So if you want to talk video games, anime, manga, or stuff, please feel free to join the Discord. Links down below. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I love you all. Appreciate you all. And I will see you all later. Bye-bye.